We have Generator of all things today. Blackwings rev it back up, and Pendulums are no stranger as well. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. We have Generator special here for you today, and yes, that is a St. Joanne down in the extra deck for whatever reason this actually decided that it wants to be here. So this build is actually playing Gizmek Kaku. This is not something that I have seen in a very long time, but if there is technically something in the extra monster zone, well, Gizmek is going to go ahead and chomp that off for you. Relatively interesting interaction. We are playing some Fenrir's. Diviner is essentially full combo in this deck, and I see that we are playing, of course, Vala being the best generator next to our dear friend Har here. Outside of that, I mean, this deck wants to take advantage of a couple of things. Obviously, you know, the flooding out of the monsters via the generator boss stage to set up, you know, the infinite wall of Har interactions. And we've seen how good Har is for the wall of interactions to make sure that the opponent can't do the thing. But you've also got to consider, you know, Jormungandr and Leviathan also as options, plus the fact that you have access to Earth Slicer and Inner Blafnir for those hand-ripping options. And a little bit later in the game, too, you can start to see Utopic Future Draco be something that this deck actually can have access to. Actually, I think this is fairly impressive, the fact that, you know, F-Zero is something that this deck can actually make and actually have it be useful. Also, Herald being able to drop St. Joanne here and actually level modify itself into something a little bit more scary is actually impressive. So yeah, we've genuinely come a long way out here that we can convert Herald into something very scary because of this, just so Generator can play the game. Yeah, that's the story of how Generator turned my life upside down. What else we got going on back here? We have Blackwings. Now, the first thing I want to tell you about Blackwings here is that your little Bashtian friends here, this is the good stuff. Now, I'm actually surprised, because I've seen some other variants that have been playing Lubellion, and then you basically just use Lubellion as a jump-off point to make level 10s at that point. Essentially, we're using the Bashtians here as sub-interruption packages to make sure you can do your thing. Also, Mr. Wanting Moon over here being able, hey, you got something on the field with 2,000 or more attack points? Hey, go ahead and call out that free tuner monster. That's not going to have any real restrictions on it. Like, the fact that this card actually exists in the game changes a lot of the things that you need to consider. I also see that we are citing a Raiders Knight and the Ark Rebellion Dragon down here as well. So we're doing some cheesy OTK stuff. I guess that's the whole point of this, right? Because honestly, sometimes Blackwings might not end on maybe your most optimal board at the end of the day. So you kind of got to find a way to kind of cheese out some sort of OTK. And Mr. Ark Rebellion Dragon here is going to be that gas to assure you the chance to actually do that. So I like this little combo package as a side deck option. And of course, you're playing a Synchro deck. Why would you not be playing Gravity Collapse in this thing? Getting the chance to say no to your opponent, they cannot do anything, is the reason why, you know, you can steal games for no real reason whatsoever. I mean, okay, yeah, sending a face-up synchro to blink your entire opponent's turn, that's free, all right? Because 95% of the time, Blackwings are going to have some sort of recovery point, and they'll be able to have no problem bridging that gap. That's why I actually like what this deck is attempting to do. So, Blackwings, of all things. Didn't think we would see that today. Next up here, we have Pendulum Magicians. And I'll be honest with you, we did get the new support. All right, Wings of Light is a stupid card. All right, getting to add a Supreme King Gate Dragon or a Supreme Gate Pendulum from your deck to your hand is literally free. Guess what? Hey, you wanna go get some searching here? Honestly, for what this deck now has, We still don't have Electromite, which is a little bit of an annoyance. I understand that people do want to try out the combo variants of this deck, but you do end up on some bricks. Though Exceed the Pendulum did help out with some of the genuine issues that Electromite kind of has left filling the void. Also, Exceed the Pendulum is a jump-off point to make Apollosa kind of at the end of combo, so you can kind of go ahead and kind of do your thing. I also see that we are playing an Odd Eyes Rebellion Xyz Dragon in here as well. Not really every day do you see people wanting to play this, but I see what we're trying to do here. And of course, Yield Absolute Dragon into the Vortex. Yeah, we've seen enough of the combo variants with this deck to physically know that when you are seeing Absolute Dragon, or excuse me, when you're seeing Vortex Dragon, and basically the simple combo negates of like Baron and typically Borreload Savage with an Apo standing next to it, you're able to do pretty well. The only real complaints I have about this is, you know, Droll and Lockbird hurts this deck a lot. You have to get a lot of pieces going, and you can't really abuse Thrust, but you still get access to Time Pendulum Graph, and Time Pendulum Graph has kind of withstood the test of time for being a card that is just so insanely powerful for what it does. It's amazing. So, yes, I am happy to see that Pendulum Magician is functioning. This is honestly the first time that we had seen this, and I was hoping we would see a little bit more by this point, but the fact that we still have this deck functioning is cool. Now, we also have some more Vanquish Soul for you today, and this is a really teched out version. I see that we're main decking one copy of Ghost Reaper. I mean, it also does check the mark for being a dark, and we've extended out our Kashtira package a lot more. Now, obviously, with the loss of a Rise Heart, this deck has kind of had to find some new methods of cheese to make sure that, you know, we can kind of do some things. Well, I mean, I see that we're playing a Unicorn and a Birth in here as well, which means this deck can technically make a Shangri-La, and you can technically start shaving off some zones away from your opponent. Now, you're also playing one Rise Heart in here, which I think is cute. Now for the rest of this, I mean, how many Geolong? We're playing double Geolong. We're playing the one copy of the Snow Devil, which is fine. We're playing the one Talents with the two Thrust. I see that we're also further citing more Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries. The fact that somebody actually is playing Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries, I mean, the biggest thing's down here in your extra deck. I mean, mainly you just want to reveal the Yama, right? Keep in mind that this build feels like it's more geared towards a localized event, or they're more worried about Unchained at the end of the day, because I hate to tell you this, but Unchained is a terrible matchup for this deck. All right, like having to blast out this card, especially in a scenario where, oh no, your opponent's going first, you know, what are we going to do? Well, if you can technically hit this on the high roll, you know, you are playing 43 cards, which might feel like a lot depending on how the deck is kind of going. But I like how this deck is attempting to do its thing. It is taking more advantage of the Kashtira moving parts, and it is showing that, hey, you know, you can still merge these engines together, you can still maximize these results, and you can still do something. I mean, this isn't our first Vanquish Soul rodeo out here, that we're seeing these Kashtira cards actually falling into line with what we're expecting out here for the expected meta. And our last list here that we have for you is some more Gen and Ken action with the Horus good stuff. And I will say that I have genuinely enjoyed more of this Phantom Knight package and ideas that people are kind of bringing to the table. And yes, that is Shadow's Light, of all things, actually getting the chance to do its thing. Hey, you want to go ahead and tribute a dark, special summon a light monster with the same original type and attribute? Okay, sure. Hi, Gen and Ken. How are you? This actually allows you to kind of bridge the gap into Gen and Ken, and then you can go ahead and start setting up your thing. Also, I mean, the free sarcophagus package, you know, my comment section has told me for like a week now that there is no synergy with this. You know, the Horus package doesn't need to play Phantom Knights. Well, we're up to 3 to 4 tops at this point in time where people are having success right now with this package, which means that maybe we do need to reevaluate our stance on this package and give some consideration to this and go, hey, you know, maybe there is something to this. I mean, this build build also looks very good. 45 cards isn't going to be much of an issue. You're also playing the full armored package in here as well, so you can go ahead and have some extra defensive plays as well. Like, this build has so many cool moving parts in it, and I mean, I haven't seen another Phantom Knight list actually trying out the full armored package, because being able just to warp on into Torpedo and then go ahead and start climbing up and then have this defensive opportunity seems pretty good. So those are all the lists that I have for you today. A lot of interesting things, a lot of things that I actually want to see be successful out here in the near future. So what do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.